Okay, some highlights from October 1st from the Greatstockpix.com live trading chat room. CRZO, this is a classic setup right here. Anytime you've got, let's get an arrow going here. Anytime you've got this kind of shape, almost straight up, and then a very clean pullback when they look like stair steps coming into the moving averages, it's a good one to watch. I actually called this long, I think around 38.55 with about a dime stop, and it chopped around, ended up killing it. I made like a sandwich out of it, but then it chopped around a little bit more, and then just to clean this mess up, and I see it's holding the blue line, which is the 8-period moving average for 5-minute candles. So this, to me, is acting like a stock that still could run. It's just going to chop around for a bit. To clean this up, you can just simply switch to a longer time frame candle like 15s. There you go, and that's what I've done right there. Zoom in a little bit, and it's very clean stair step, nice little narrow 15. And after the first chop around on the 5-minute basis, I went ahead and jumped in the chat room and said, I like this again on 15s if you're not still in it from the other call, which is 38.62 with a 38.45 stop. And then there's the trigger, and we're nicely through the high of the day. It doesn't look like much, but for 38.62, this ran to 39.39, and it really ran straight for about 45 minutes. And then chopped around the rest of the day. So CRZO was a nice one. EGLE. Actually, EGLE looked like this when I called it. I called it at 7.38 with a stop 9 cents below. You can just kind of picture if like EGLE is a shipper that's been super strong, like strongest stock on the planet lately, but then beaten up the last couple days. And so you have this kind of little flag pattern right here. And I just called it long if it got up to about here, right? A little break of the flag, chance that it gets through the high of the day, lights up the new high sticker, and then they pile in because EGLE's been so strong. So anyway, 7.38 with a stop only 9 cents below. There's the trigger. There's the high of daybreak, and we got a nice move. The highest it got was 7.88, so a 50-cent move, but really for 45 minutes straight again in our favor. And on only 9 cents risk. So on a 50-cent move on a $7 stock is a very nice percentage gain. I also want to show you CLNE, and I made money off this one. I didn't make a call on it. One of our all-stars, Zozo, pointed it out at the open. Let me pan out a little bit here. Look at this nice volume move. It just ran for, these are 5-minute candles, so for straight 10 minutes, this thing just ran on massive volume, okay? Now, add one more candle. And you see this little tail right down here? This met one of our parameters to grab it, and Zozo is the one. You don't want to chase this when it's running like this, okay? But you can. This is enough of a move and enough volume that you can say to yourself, hey, there must be something big going on here. All right, first pullback, I'm going to try to get in. So this little tail here, if you're wondering how I grabbed it, it's hard to even get it on there. You're wondering how I grabbed it. I grabbed it at 13.09 right here, but it was because of Zozo's post. One thing we look for in the chat room is really strong stocks like this. We look for them to bounce off the 8-period moving average on 2-minute candles, not 5s, not 15s, but 2-minute candles when they're really powerful. So let me switch to 2-minute candles. Okay, now I'm zoomed in, and this is where Zozo typed in CLNE nearing the 2.8, which means 2-minute candle, 8-period moving average, which is this blue line. And you can see it pushed down. I grabbed it at 13.09, just right on the blue line touch. And it was right back up. And look, I mean, that thing just went forever. I couldn't believe how far it went. I killed almost all of mine at the 1350 area, right up in here, because on the daily, and you can see it's come back down there now. It went all the way over 14, but you can see it had resistance at strong resistance around 1350. And coming from this far to get there, I figured that was a good place to get rid of the rest of it. But what a great alert by Zozo, and it just goes to show you having a method and an idea of where you want to, grab a really strong stock. If you can catch a pullback, absolutely makes sense. Had a couple shorts. I made a little money in shorting AOL and SPN. I made about a sandwich on TWGP. I got to show that one. That was actually on our watch list last night. Looked like this. Then on a 5-minute basis, I called it when it looked like this. Okay, this is the opening candle here, the opening 5-minute candle. That's supposed to be an arrow. Let me try that again. This is the opening 5-minute candle. This is yesterday's high. So then there's the opening 5-minute high. Then you had a lower high here. When it looked like this, I said I like it over this red candle here. So the long call was at 712 with a 7 stop. Let me get the drawing out of your way. And so then there is the trigger. And made it to 745, I think. It never really came close to stopping out. So that was a nice one, too. All right, guys, I'm going to quit babbling. We'll talk to you tomorrow.